Okay, who's ready for more lawyer game? Around hopefully the last day of this case. The Turnabout Samurai.
Here's a new idea. True believers? My new hero is the Turnabout Samurai. He's powerful because he can turn around at the speed of sound.
Chica, you're first. You're actually first. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What, you mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. It means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is.
What?
Is Maya always this excitable? Yep. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP. Maybe we should examine the room again. Nothing new here. Okay. Guess we'll go talk to this guy. To Human Blanca. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today, thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Oh, there's not really anything I can do to help. Haha, I'm not really sure what I can do either. They're just... I mean, that's what he looks like, right? He looks like freaking Blanca. If his skin was green and if his hair was orange... Blanca right there. There's M. Bison back there. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer. She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why's that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Well, you should probably tell us, because you're about to be executed tomorrow if we don't solve this. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Sal Manella. He used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Still Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. And imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. That's messed up. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Will Powers looks just like me. I don't know if I quite have those mutton chops. Well, you know what? Right now, if I were to shave off everything except that, I would kind of have that, because I just have a whole, like, beard situation going on at the moment. But I don't usually just have mutton chops. Also, I don't know if I quite have that much chest hair. I'm still pretty sure this guy is just Blanca. Well, I already know that we need to figure out that they use the incinerator in Studio 2 to burn the costume. I think that's pretty obvious. But we need to get Phoenix to figure that out. The old windbag sure is quiet today. I know. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think her guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat these donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die. Ooh, she's alive. You had to threaten her donuts. Let's take them anyways. Looks like it's been turned off for the day. Why did they turn the camera off? In the middle of an investigation? Like, what if someone's tampering with evidence? There's a mountain of junk food. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get any new information, but just in case. Who do you think is the most Walt-esque character in the game? Probably Salmonella. I was wondering about D. Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. Seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal, he's soft to push over, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Oh no. Oh, why would anyone like being treated like dirt? Don't ask, Maya. That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't, Maya. Did you know Wendy Oldbag consistently ranks pretty close to the top on Japanese character popularity polls? Really? I mean, she's pretty funny. Does she show up again in other games, or is this the only time she shows up? About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it, calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper, my poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low, it's impossible. Let's calm her down with this nice scrapbook. I'm not in the mood for thinking. Time to move on. We'll go to the employee lounge first. Guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time. The trial will be over and done by tomorrow. That's a common thing in Japan, right? Where they do character polls for like games and shows and stuff. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yarr! Oh no, look who's here. No touching. Eek. Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean. I almost had a heart attack. I guess I could be a little dramatic at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. I mean, yeah, if Gumshoe's just like running people over inadvertently, then yeah. That's pretty Walter-esque. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal, traces thereof. Let's help him look. Ah, they've seen wisdom at last. They know if they fixed it, I'd just kick it off again. That poor assistant. The grate that used to cover the drain. It's a little bent. I don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back on. I didn't realize she kicked it off. I thought she just like pulled it. Okay, nothing here yet. I still think this electric powered bicycle could come in handy for how they got around so quickly. But maybe that's just an incidental thing, and it's not going to be important to the case. Yeah, Neo old Tokyo. Maya with her insatiable thirst for hamburgers. Not just hamburgers. Earlier in this case, she said she has a second stomach just for steaks. And then she said, I've heard before a second stomach for dessert. I've never heard for steaks. And then later she said she had a second stomach just for sweets. And Phoenix was like, how many stomachs do you have? Well, I think he thought that. I don't think he said it out loud. T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak. These have been here for like 2 days now, just 2 or 3 days just sitting here. Oh, I see. In the original, she's really into ramen. But in this one, they changed it to hamburgers? That's funny. Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious diet. I like how they said it's so normal, but he missed out. He didn't notice the samurai soda and the spaghetti in the can that Mia pointed out when we had Mia with us. Which is like, yeah, that's not very normal. Oh, I guess we could talk to the plate? Oh, these are options to talk to Gumshoe, but Gumshoe's off screen. I was about to say. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills, how? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct, but I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. I guess that proves it. That's true, they will have hot drinks and beverage vending machines sometimes that have, like, stuff in it. Like that, you're right. You are right, I remember seeing that. In the convenience stores too, they'd have the hot section. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record. Yeah, I think I tried the hot red bean soup as well. And it wasn't bad. It seemed weird, but it wasn't bad. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How's Edgeworth doing? He's out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Yeah, that means we have him on the ropes. Crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Whatever happened to that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. Wasn't I there when they did that? Or I guess I sent the bottle off to be fingerprinted. Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers asleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Sleeping pill bottle added to the court record. I mean, I think it's probably just... What's probably gonna be what happened is Powers was just really wanted to relive his glory days. So he put on the outfit. He wanted to... Either just to, like, feel like the character again, the star again, or to actually try to film something as the star. And I think someone inadvertently killed him thinking that he was Powers. That's gonna be my guess, but I guess we'll see how it actually turns out. As the series goes on, the localization decision Capcom US made is to switch the setting from Japan to California makes less and less sense. But they couldn't go back to it, go back on it. Yeah, in the first game it works out because it's just... I'm guessing they don't go out of the little area too often. Because even calling this Global Studios, it sounds like, oh, Universal Studios, so that could be in LA. But, if they start going to, like, hot springs and bathhouses and conveyor sushi places and stuff that's, like, a lot less common here. There is a conveyor sushi place in LA. There's only one that I know of in Little Tokyo, but I mean, they're very few and far between. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? The WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But... this week is the last episode of The Still Samurai. What? No! Dang. Yeah, I think it's a Kura Sushi as well in LA. So maybe that must be like a brand that split, like expanded to the US, right? I wish there were more of those around because they're really fun to go to. Although the one in LA is pretty pricey. In Japan, they're much more affordable because they're all over the place. So I mean, they have to be affordable because it's like you have your selection. You have quite a selection. If oh, I'm not gonna go here. It's too expensive. Sorry, I haven't cleaned up there yet. Uh-huh. You mean they didn't want to draw a made bed? It's completely empty. I can feel Maya's eyes burning into the back of my neck. She wanted to eat them the first day we came. Wow, you remembered, Nick? Thanks to you. Samurai Boogie Woogie. They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I always check my hairdo when I look in a mirror. Not quite as spiky as usual, I see. Oh. His spike has been... falling. One of the favorite conveyor sushi places I went to, was, Kappa Sushi. That was a good one. Powers' bag. I put all of WP's personal belongings in there. He'll be able to come pick them up, right? I'm sure he'll come, yes. So, another part of the case which hasn't been really commented on yet is the fact that the weapon was broken, and so the spearhead came off, and then it was supposedly fixed immediately. So, I think that indicates that the killer doesn't have to be a large person who could carry a large weapon, because since the spearhead was broken off already, they could have just broken it off and just used that like a knife. Which is probably gonna end up being what might have happened. Better talk to her. Walter used to be a samurai, like in a past life. I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt. Whatever that incident that happened 5 years ago. Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? Walter's my secretary? He's my Ronin secretary? What do you mean the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing could be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No, no. Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Well, that seems like the producer has a motive at this point, where, I mean, the director's clearly into it. He's a weeb. He's a childish weeb. He loved it. The producer, I could see maybe wanting to do other material, and so she has a motive at this point. Secretary / bodyguard. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? You know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of what's her name? Mercy. That reminds me of Lex Luthor's assistant, Mercy. She's basically like a secretary / bodyguard. Like, I feel like she does both. Do they ever use her in anything else, really? That, like, she was in the Superman animated cartoon a lot. And I think she was in Justice League a little bit. But I don't know that I've ever seen her used in, like, film or anything. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. What? Wait, evidence of, wait, what is it? What? The fact that this kid likes Steel Samurai a lot? And this is? A fan collected all these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you'd understand that better than anyone. Oh yeah, she has like a whole Steel Samurai card collection. You're right. Okay. But what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. I could tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago someone died and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? That's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? I know, right? Someone died, and I can't believe that during this murder case we discovered someone dying. You know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know? Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Yeah, if she'll talk. That's what I thought, fact, but apparently not. Just wait until you see Mr. Salmonella, whose sword set is apparently a fan favorite. Like, apparently Salmonella tops the character polls in Japan all the time. He was supposed to be a one-off character, but I guess Capcom's been forced to include him in every game since then. I don't think Phoenix has a gun, I think he just has a badge. A badge that he has to explain. What, you're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you marry it? I mean, why don't you take it over? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darnest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Uh-oh. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols? Nichols? Nichols, Nick, Penny Nichols, that assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers, dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume? You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? I do, actually. I'm sorry, Mr. Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Yeah, because this plate has traces of the sleeping pills on it. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so... This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. Oomph. Ah. I bet Powers put it in there himself. Even a lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes. Except I have proof that Mr. Hammer put the pills in too, because his fingerprints are on the pill bottle. Okay, it reminds you of a story about a guy from Buffy, where he was supposed to just be a bit character for a few episodes, but he was risking homelessness, so he just put all his all into it, forced himself to become a beloved character. Oh, you're talking about Seth Green, right? The werewolf? Yeah, that was a big, that was his big blow-up role, as they call it. Do I like T-bone steaks? Probably. Let me look that up. T-bone steak. I know it's... You know what? I don't know if... I must have had a T-bone steak at some point in my life, right? I haven't had a lot of, like, good steaks, honestly. I mostly just have steaks at home, and we don't get really expensive ones. I'm pretty sure I've had a T-bone steak before, though. Because this has the big bone in it. Yeah. You know what I want to try one day? Is a tomahawk steak. Tomahawk steaks look so good, but they're like really expensive, I've heard. You prefer a Cubone steak? James Marsters, I see. But that's cool that, you know, someone who was in that much dire straits was able to become a regular on the show like that. Marowak steaks, okay. I get it. This bottle contains sleeping pills. Mr. Hammer's fingerprints were found on the bottle. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Oh, she accepted it. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Oh, she's about to die, you could tell. Miss Oldbag. This is like when Darth Vader asks Luke to take his helmet off. You're right, 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. What? She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. Yo, is that the wait. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the bent fence piece. I noticed that. Wait a minute, someone died from that fence and they didn't remove it? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with the bad guy on the top of the stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell into the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Wow. Yeah, they couldn't say Yakuza. OSHA is tragically underfunded in the Ace Attorney world. I mean, when I hear Mafia, I think like the gangs of New York. Like during like the Prohibition era and like the 40s and all that. I don't think of LA, modern day LA. The Mafia. Dude, Chuck's a new tux. You're right. Okay, so now we have this picture. Yeah, they could have just said she has links to the underworld, the crime underworld. Wow, we have so much evidence we have to have a second page now. Right? Now we definitely need Phoenix to realize that the incinerator was definitely used to burn the samurai costume. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the still samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Well, I'm gonna examine everything as I always do. This is exactly why I don't want to get old, ever. Hey, I'm still young. I'm just tired. When you start having to say I'm still young, you know it's all over. He's only 24. I still don't think they should have switched the camera off in the middle of an investigation. It's a long story. Mr. Monkey. What? I can't tell if the bird tweets are supposed to be so, like, strangely sporadic. If that's a glitch, that's funny. If that's intended, I guess that's also kind of funny. Alright, let's go to, Can we go to Studio One anymore? Did we ever get the... No, we can't. Well, there's no reason to now. That's not the crime scene anymore, I guess. So that just cuts out a place we don't have to worry about. Oh, look who it is. I will say, I do think the character sprites in the original game look better than the redone ones in this version. It's a shame that isn't an option. Yeah, I was thinking about that because it must have been more sprite art. Like, they redid the sprite art and, like, it looks like Flash animation, honestly. It might not literally be that, but... Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but I do like sprite art a lot, so it would have been nice. Especially the animations, I think, would have looked probably a little better in sprite art. How do you think Maya gets her hair behind her eyeballs? I mean, you gotta ask a lot of anime characters that question. Hey Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. I think it's supposed to give the illusion of like a bit of transparency between the hair, but I don't know. They're higher res hand-drawn sprites. Well, the I assume the Game Boy game, it's like pixel art, is it not? It's not like detailed pixel art? Maybe it isn't, I don't know. I've never played it. Hello? Hello? Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. See, we need Phoenix to realize this is where they burned the samurai suit. Oh, it's covered in soot. They must not clean it very often. Or they just used it recently. Nick, you don't have a driver's license? But I have this. Yeah, I already had this conversation before. I do wish that if you've already examined an area and they don't have a new line of dialogue, that they don't, like, they just leave it checked off as if you've already examined it, you know what I'm saying? If he hadn't brought that photograph in. Don't get all teary-eyed yet. Wait, it was actually really easy to explain how he found out the murder was in Studio 2 because of that picture. Oh, they use 3D models now. I didn't even know that. This is where Salmonella and D. Vasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too. Something wrong? I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Well, where are the bones at if they had T-bone? Did they eat the bones? Something about this feels odd, you know? Can't say that I do. That the T-bone steaks don't have bones. Some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. Look, that's literally where the guy fell down and they didn't even bother changing any of this. And nothing. Oh! No, this. Yeah. Alright, let's talk to young Windbag. Excuse me, Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh dear. Well, she's not- you're not listening to the clouds. Dual Destinies. People of the Clown Girl. Oh, I saw an animation of the clown. I'm sure everyone's seen that animation at this point. But I can't remember. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Still Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Still Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My Fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer by yourselves. Oh dear. That's it. This ought to get her goat. Take that! Oh, can I... Wait, what's going on? Oh, I have to go to present. I was talking about this yesterday, but I don't think either of you were here, but some of the the structuring of the options in this game don't make sense to me. Because you have examine at the start, which is cool, because okay, I'm gonna examine the area I'm in. But then the next option is to move away from the area. When the third and fourth options involve doing stuff that's still in this area. I feel like move should be at the end of it. That's how I think that makes the most sense. So, I don't know, it's just like a weird little thing. And then another little thing, I don't know if any of this is different from the original version of the game, by the way. You can do almost everything, like you could do many things in the game by clicking. So, you know, examine, click. I could use my mouse to just drag it around and click. I can talk and click. I can present. No, actually, this is the one thing where... So if I'm moving, I can move to, okay, trailer, and then click again to go to it. But when you're presenting information... I always, like, I'm using, like, my right hand for, like, most of the game, and then I always have to come up and hit E to present. But I'm curious to see, like, maybe how differently the game played in the original version. But anyways, I'm gonna show her this. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Old. Well, duh. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Uh-huh. It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Oh, now it does. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. You know what? I don't know if I've really gotten a good look at the dead person in the picture. Let's see, he's got a bunch of belts on, he looks like a Kingdom Hearts character. I mean, I can't really see him very good, it's just short black... I mean, maybe it's her brother. They both have, like, short, spiky black hair. She's definitely upset about it. I could see why she might have a motive. Huh, you came. Yeah, it was a 5-second walk. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. Huh. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident. But you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause, you pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident? A double accident. No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. I mean, he looks pretty shocked on the photo. It seems like something happened he didn't expect. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Huh. Just think. Would he have let me Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? Yes. Some people would feel guilty about that. And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hand, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. Divine intervention. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys. What the hell? Where'd they come from? Well, good thing they're not blocking the door. We could just turn around and leave. This must be the mafia they were talking about earlier. The guy on the right looks like he's pledging allegiance to the flag of Japan America. Who are they? Professionals? They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why would D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. Hell. So long, friends. Boys, a race away. No. We need Mia to show up and help us out here. Hold it right there. Oh, thank God. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Huh. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Wow, Gumshoe actually helped us out for once. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Well, don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just, I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. Oh, I guess we're going right into the trial now. We didn't even talk about the furnace, though. Maybe we'll bring it up in court. Los Japangles. Have you ever heard someone in real life unironically call it Los Angeles? Because I was just thinking about, like, in old movies, like, some characters will call it that. Usually people who are not from California. Alright, I'm glad we're getting to the trial here, because we had a long stream of this yesterday. It was 3.5 hours, and okay, it says final day, so that's a good sign. My voice was dead by the end of it, and if I want to do the case tomorrow that you guys are telling me I should do, I have to be able to talk, so... Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution's ready. The defense is ready. It will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Miss Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems on edge today. Ramble, ramble. May call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Wait. Mr. Edgeworth is the first witness? Calls D. Vasquez to the stand. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Sorry, that's how court trials work, lady. You're gonna be hearing that a lot of repeated information. Have I ever been to Los Angeles? I may have. I may have been to Los Angeles. Hey, this lady tried to have me killed. No, sorry, Fact. You're only allowed to have one case at a time in this game. Only one crime at a time can be happening. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Wording. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp, it ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. You had him take you? What do you mean? Like in the van? At 2:30, we're gonna have to press her on a lot of stuff. She's being vague. Take a 15-minute break in the meeting at 2:30. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. Somehow he had a big hole in his chest, but there was no blood. It was all drained of... Wait, maybe she's a vampire. Does this game actually take place in 2016? I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? Oh, the freaking judge is getting more brain cells by the day. He's actually starting to say smart stuff for once. The first two cases, he was just completely helpless. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with the monkey's head toppling over. Van added to the court record. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Day of the murder. Ended the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. Ended at 4. I just want to see if there's... if she can add to that at all. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't very... Same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Please stop banging on your little desk, it hurts my ears. Muff. Well, you're not supposed to have a digital camera in court either, apparently. I would assume unless it's evidence, but that kid brought his in, so this judge is very lax. There was a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. At what time? Yeah. I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. That's a whole hour. I would think it was between those times. But the monkey's head, the path wasn't cleared until 4:15, right? You would think, come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I had Sal take me. Hold on, you had Sal take you? What does that mean? Okay. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table. I want Phoenix to bring up that there are no bones left on the plates. Even though... Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. Find some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. You do! Well, Nick, find anything? Kinda wish she'd said a little more. It's hard, but I think she's pretty used to being the boss. Sure, you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said, somewhere. Okay, so do I have evidence that can prove... I mean, could I just show the plate off here that shows, look, these plates have bones, yours doesn't. So maybe that's all I need. Ah, as I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate? This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it is a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. You think we should have pictures of this too? They're kind of just taking Phoenix's word for it. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. In the next game, the prosecutor just has a whip that they sometimes crack at you. That sounds legal. Does she do that to the judge too? Because that would be funny. Because that's the one, I remember that character when I was doing my review. I can't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about. Reducto was, I converted her into Reducto for the Harvey Birdman video, but Von Karma, there you go. Well, that's funny because that actually fits so well because Reducto has a shrink ray that he has on him in court, and he will shrink people in the middle of a court case. Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too. You ate a boneless steak, or you didn't eat the steak. I'll just say you ate it. They definitely ate some kind of steak because of the juice on the plate. Would you say he makes people feel small? Oh yeah. He doesn't like large things intimidate him. And he's very jumpy, and he has a hair trigger finger, so that's usually what... It's a bad combination. You were eating a boneless steak. Mr. Wright, say you are right. What would that prove? Oh, I should have said she didn't eat a steak. Remember her testimony? She said she ate a T-bone steak. She said bone. Correct. I was testing you. Yeah, sure, Nick. Sorry, can I try that one more time? That you didn't eat the steak. Right, because the whole point is she needed to have enough time to do the murder, which there was a 15-minute window. So steak, I could eat a steak in like enough time, but I don't know if she could. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. Now they're bringing it up. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? I'm glad they didn't punish me for that. Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Picking on salmonella. She was just... Okay, but we gotta do this. She was meeting with the still samurai. Order. Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the steel samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright. Isn't that a little presumptuous? I feel like if there's anyone good at absolutely shoving food down their gullet, it's people working on a set. That's true, because you need to finish that quick. Get back to what you're doing. What kind of scent are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. You're not that petite. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Okay, so I know how she did it. The spear was already broken. All she had to do was take the head of the spear off and use it as a knife and put it back on after. But I don't know what the game wants me to say to get to that point. Because if I say I think you could, maybe that could lead to you took the spearhead off. But maybe it wants me to say you couldn't use the spear. That's why you just used the head of the spear. I don't know which one they want me to say right now, but I know what I need to. I know what the answer is. I know how to get her. You couldn't, could you? That's why you broke the spearhead off. I think you could. That's why you. I feel like it's got to be this one. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ah, you see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Okay, we got this. Sometimes I notice that I think multiple answers can be correct, and they'll just, it depends, whatever you pick, it kind of goes. I don't know if, I don't think that was it, though. The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Okay, so here's where we show that it was broken. It's ironic because these look like spears as well, but I think we want to show this. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. He fixed it with duct tape. Well, that means it's gonna be fixed for good. No, I will definitely save scum if I have to avoid having to restart. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Ugh. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell me what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. I might have messed up here, but I'm gonna give it a shot and say... this. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order! I cannot have order. This trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at all the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? This happened again. Oh. Hi, Double O. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. Wow, even Edgeworth is just shocked. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Is it ironic, or is it justice? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1? And then returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? Well, you just told us about the van, which was a big mistake on your part. How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death? Then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. You just found out that Harvey Weinstein owned a Miramax? I mean, he was a big, movie producer guy. That's why it was such a huge scandal that this guy was doing all this horrible stuff. What if she had another way to carry the body other than with her own hands? For instance. Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting, let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Well, obviously she put it inside of this pill bottle. She put it in like a capsule from Dragon Ball. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do... Yeah, if he did actually, if Harvey Weinstein did die, I mean, that's not a great loss right there. That guy was pretty deplorable. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright? Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? If you count him being bullied into doing it, yes. Of course, Sal Manella has been Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. There you go. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Huh. I lose, you win. It was fun. Oh, did we do it? I win? Salmonella runs out. No! Sentence me, not her. So what happens next? He's not. Yeah, I know. I'm not used to the accused just suddenly admitting defeat like that. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Can you explain everything in detail just so we can get a conclusion here? Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say, oh my god. She's so annoying. Huh? Are you sure I did, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But, that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lacked of decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Do I? Do I actually? Like, isn't she the only one who could have They were gonna put MP in prison and possibly execute him just because he was the only one that seemed to have walked to the studio. So it's now that she's the only one who could have gone to the studio with way more evidence, how is she not in trouble? Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Urk, what do I do now? We need Mia. We need her to testify again. There's something that we need to catch her on, I think. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? Shouldn't we call Salmonella up to the stand, since we're assuming that he's a conspirator? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. I've proven several times at this point that no, that's not true. When someone testifies again, I usually catch them on something new. Damn. To come so far only to fail. We need Mia, I guess. As it seems there are no other further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Oh! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Okay. I see, very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. I just did that. You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed, verily, I say, ergo. He just reverts to just saying these random phrases. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Huh. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? Well, yeah. This would kind of result in that too, wouldn't it? Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. Security lady Old Bag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. You may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. His streak was broken, yeah, that's true. Okay, I want to look at my evidence real quick. I always wondered if the wind actually knocked this down or if it was like them driving the van in a hurry. Okay, I was with Sal and Old Bex. I'm just gonna kind of press her a lot to get more information. Maybe he's falling for Phoenix. He's growing admiration for his rival. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella drive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. 10 minutes before 5. I mean, I don't see any problems with this, but I'm just gonna press just in case. I don't want to miss anything. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy. The witness will continue her testimony. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Yeah, I just said I didn't do it. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person is missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Huh. Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his Steel Samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. You're saying the human Blanca man doesn't stand out? We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez. You may continue. I'm just gonna press her on everything. What was everyone else doing at the time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry. Sorry I'm late. Then silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick, why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. What, was that a tip, or is she just saying that? Why did the security lady think Power's identical? Because she saw the picture. She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the still samurai. But we already know now that he wasn't in the outfit. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. He seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. He's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I could use. What do you mean? We already know that that wasn't him in the costume at this point. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. Yeah, especially if you're the murderer. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in the meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot of writing on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. Whoops! I forgot to press her on that. Damn it, I missed one thing. Okay, she wasn't questioned. Thinking back to when we first began this trial, we were under the impression that there was no one in the trailer at all. I suppose. Why is that? Well, we were in a meeting the whole afternoon. What's the point of talking about that to the police? She has got to be the least guilt-ridden, guilty person I've ever met. I have to find something to peg this on her here. For everything we've done until now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay, so I need to save here because we need to start presenting evidence. There was one thing I missed to press on, though. I need to actually press on that. Right here. They're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Ms. Vasquez, please. Oh! Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal, but how would she know that already? Don't you see what that means? I can't do sillier voices. I mean, I could for like 5 minutes, and then... She would have to have known the murder before going to Studio One. Oh.
Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense?
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? Now, here's the thing. It's harder for me to focus on what they're actually saying when I'm doing a silly voice. Funny enough. I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Huh. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here. Okay. Okay, I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. But wasn't Sal... The rehearsal happened... Damn it, when did the rehearsal happen? It was earlier in the day. Sal wasn't there... Wait, was Sal there for the rehearsal? Oh yeah, he was. Does Edgeworth have his own psychic teenagers sitting just out of frame? No, that's why we beat him last time. He probably would like one though. Damn. Hang on. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How can I contradict it? Oh, you can go back and forth? I knew he was injured. So I left them behind. Went back to the trailer to get my script and direction. I wish you would specify the times, because I'm trying to remember when they found the body. So that was around 5 they found the body. Sal, old bag, the assistant. Immediately call the police, then Powers. Went back to the trailer to get my script and directions notes. So the path was cleared at that point. Maybe I could ask why didn't she take the van again? But she didn't say she didn't take the van. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Oh, maybe that's why she had. Maybe that's why she had Hammer show up in the suit so she could try to film. She wanted to film. She told him she was gonna film scenes. With him, since Powers was injured. Hey, Monica. I feel like that's. I feel like we need to bring that up. I'm just not sure if this is the right place to bring it up. Because this doesn't contradict what she's. Unless with this I say you didn't leave them behind. You were doing the script in Studio 2. I'm gonna try that. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Yes, we got it! It's your boy! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Oh, did she say Hammer was injured? I didn't even... For some reason, I wasn't even reading that. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Yo, he got her, and I didn't even realize what I was making. Like, I had a feeling we needed to put that in there, but I didn't. I was missing that little piece right there that I should have noticed. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Mr. Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Humph. Yeah, let's see a sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Burke, why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Well, they haven't explained yet why he... All we know is she probably told him to do that, but we don't know the exact reason yet. But I think she told him that she wanted to film stuff in the suit, maybe, and she lied. I don't know. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? Is this a joke? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for this murder. I need to reveal evidence? Alright, we must have something on us. Okay, allow me to present... can I just show the picture again and say, yo, look, it looks just like her? Otherwise... I don't think it's his attorney badge. We just showed this, so I feel like showing this again would be redundant. So I'm guessing that that's her brother. But... I'm not sure... I don't know. How can I... Assuming that it's not the same evidence again, because that would be really dumb. Uh... I mean, I'm trying to go through these one by one of why they wouldn't make any sense. So this is his attorney's badge. Obviously, this is silly. That's not it. The autopsy report wouldn't reveal any way. Like, I'm going to try to really overthink it and see if there's any way any of these could be connected to a motive for her. So this is just his autopsy report. This would not reveal a motive for her. This is just what happened at the murder. Didn't we just show this picture as well? What could she possibly, from this, show that she... It could have been she was fooled and thought... No, we've already confirmed she knew that that was Jack, because she said Jack was injured. So it can't be she thought that that was Powers, maybe? No, it's got... She knew from the start that it was Jack in that suit. A guide map of the studios. You could say the guide map could be a motive in the sense that she wanted to change how the studio, because I already was thinking about that. They talked about how, oh, they're not going to do samurai movies anymore. So it could be this. I mean, I don't know why the guide map would be good evidence for that though, but unless she broke the head off the monkey and that's part of like getting rid of the samurai stuff. Or the clock was so annoying that it drove her crazy, and that's why she did it. I still think there's no way the wind just blew the head off of that. But we do know that she didn't want to do like kid stuff anymore. And this is like a kid thing. You know what? I'm gonna go for this. This is my proof. And this tells us why Miss Vasquez wanted to kill Mr. Hammer. I'd say all it proves is that the defense attorney has completely lost his marbles. Nope. Okay, apparently not. Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, I'll try the same idea I had, but showing the map instead, that she wanted to change the way that the studio was being run. Nope. If it's just the same picture again, then that's stupid. Nope. I've already done that. I've already analyzed everything as much as I could. I literally went through all of them with that in mind. Unfortunately, you can't examine the scrapbook, which I would have liked. You can't examine the camera. You can't examine this, but that doesn't really help, fortunately. I knew it wasn't going to be the picture, because whenever it's something in a piece of evidence that you've already shown, it lets you click on a specific part of it. No, I know, that's what I'm saying. You can't press enter to bring up more info on these, because that's not an option, but here it says enter to check. But most of these don't have that as an option. Like, there's this. But this doesn't really help. They said your theory makes it sound like Hammer would want to kill her instead. Okay, well, I was thinking that maybe what it is that I was thinking that, but the only reason I went away from that idea is that she knew that he was he was Hammer. So if he was trying to disguise himself as Powers, which I thought about that, she would have just thought that was Powers, but she knew it was Hammer. So that would be kind of bad if it was that, because I was starting to think that. I was thinking of picking the sleeping pill bottle or something along those lines, because or even this picture, if he was on his way to do something to her. But she knew that was him coming. I did think about that, though. I mean, I could show the picture, and if that's what it is, like he was on his way to kill her. But that'd be kind of annoying, because I would have done that to begin with, because I was thinking that. But just the fact that she thought it was Jack limping made me think that she knew already. Never mind, that doesn't work either. And I've literally presented everything that can be analyzed up close. So, I'm not sure what that was a hint for exactly. I'm gonna have to save, because if I get one more wrong, then I lose. Wait, did I save? Yeah, I presented everything that can be analyzed any more closely. Which, because that was a hint given to me, that kind of also pushed me to trying this picture, since I had already tried everything else that can be analyzed. There's an option in a place I'm not thinking. There's like some weird, like trick answer option in a place I'm not thinking of. I mean, would it be something stupid like he was pierced through the chest by a spear, so she wanted to do that to him? She has motive to kill him because Manella used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio One after meeting in the trailer. That doesn't make sense. She has motive to kill him because the steak plate has traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. That doesn't make sense. She has motives to kill him because Jack Hammer snuck sleeping pills into Powers' steak, but she wouldn't have known that. There's motive to kill him because Cody got a new digital camera. This has no relation to that. There's motive to kill him because this kid made a scrapbook for Jim Powers of this samurai scrapbook. If there was like evidence in the scrapbook of something that she didn't like, she would have tried to take the scrapbook away. That's not it either. And like we're really overthinking it at that point. Monkey head. So you're saying it's something that isn't evidence. So that sounds like a trick answer to me. So how do I pick something that's not evidence? I'm stuck in the evidence section right now. I don't know how to get. I don't know how I would get out of this. No, backspace and right click just isn't doing anything. Was there wasn't even an option to not. So wait a minute. You guys got me thinking so much on what piece of evidence it could be. I'm gonna reopen the game. I'm not letting them freaking game me over just because I can't go back if that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's it? I just had to say she had no motive? You get... Why couldn't that have been linked to a what like the picture of him coming towards her or something? Yeah, no duh. But that still gives her a motive. She was defending herself was the motive. I'm not saying she purposely was trying to murder him. But that's just like really playing with semantics in a really annoying, stupid way. I don't know why they wouldn't have that. Yet somehow she knew it was Jack Hammer, or she thought it was Jack Hammer limping. I thought his name was Hammer. Why is it? Why are they calling him Manuel? Mr. Hammer's an action scene. Manuel. I don't know. It's hard to pay attention right now. I'm just really annoyed about that situation. Okay, give me a second. Okay. We have a little... I hope I have enough time to finish this case. I don't know when, I think we should have time. We should have anywhere between like 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Sedgeworth wears D. Vasquez in the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers... When did he even get there? Alright, that is all. This court is adjourned. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Why would they let you go to the screen where you're stuck in a losing pathway, even though you could wait there for like 10 minutes trying to think of what to pick? That's so stupid. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. I didn't even think about that. That he was trying to frame him. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Didn't they also just explain how that weapon wouldn't be a good murder weapon? They went out of their way to say that, oh, this isn't the murder weapon because it was fragile. That's why the murderer had to use defense. No, I know. So why would he try to murder her with that weapon? If it wasn't... One of the things was that it was broken. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Because you were the still samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the still samurai and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you, I'm just glad it's all over. So am I, so am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. And thanks to you, I'll be able to don the still samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back in that sweaty costume. Oh, he doesn't know the show's been cancelled. I literally need to wrap up right now too, so I'm just trying to get through this. Nick Edgeworth. Say something right. I'm not good at small talk. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gone away if you hadn't stepped in. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth, I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Right, I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings. Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only swerve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What friends? As if. They're rivals. Right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Well, they were childhood friends at one point. They've hinted towards that. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? So the curtains closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Oh my god. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? He's playing the Pink Princess? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world's ready for the real Will Powers. I thought he was gonna make Maya star as the Pink Princess. Alright. Because here's the thing, like, I want to look through the episode titles, because when you first unlock an episode, I don't, like, it's a little blocked, you know, I want to take a look at it. I want to look through all the episode art, but it doesn't let you do that. It makes you go through. But alright, I'm just glad I made it to the case 4 that was very important that I play tomorrow, and I need to wrap up now because it is Walter time, so I will bid you all adieu for now. Thank you for joining, and